welcome back to Watch the Thread. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It's so good to have you here. So let's see. I don't have too much to share today, but I wanted to just obviously sort of give you a little bit of an update, let you know where things are. And if you hear some cooing in the background, I've just got my little daughter off camera here, so hopefully that won't be too distracting, but she's super cute. So at least makes me happy while I'm sitting here doing this. But we'll hopefully be able to get through all of this relatively quickly. All right. So I've got a couple of new things and then one project that I finished and now have had to go back and sort of fix a bit. So I'll share that with you at the end. The first thing that I got is the Cobra Corsage cream cotton lawn. This is by Lady McElroy. It's cotton lawn, so it's 100% cotton. And I got 2 meters of it. And it came like this, which I left it like this because I thought this was really nice. I ordered it from Mulberry McNabb. And I just thought this was really nice the way they did this with the information on the binding like that. So the Cobra Corsage is not a new fabric. I've been trying to get my hands on this for a while. It's showing up more white on camera, but I think, it is more of a cream color, which I knew it would be, and which I like, which I think works a bit better for my skin tone and that sort of thing. So I just thought this was so beautiful the first time I saw it. It was on somebody else's, maybe on Instagram or something. I forget where I saw it first, but I just thought this was really cool with the bugs and the flowers and that it was really beautiful and was looking all over for it. And then I found some on this online shop. So I don't know if it's a new shop or what, but it was new to me. And I thought that they had a lot of really great sort of designer fabrics and more sort of luxurious fabrics, things that aren't carried everywhere because they tend to be a bit more expensive. And then the next thing I got is more knitting related, but which I haven't really been doing because it's freaking hot right now. But this is Sweet Fibre yarns. She had a pre-order sale, sort of dyed to order not too long ago, and I have been coveting the Tea Leaves colorway since forever. I got the Bristol Ivy Knitting Outside the Box book probably a year ago now, or if not more, and she made a shawl in this colorway, and I thought it was so beautiful and just has so much depth, and it's really nice. I got it in the Sweet Merino Light, so it's 100% superwash merino, and yeah, I think it's a fingering weight yarn. It's just really, really beautiful, and I got 3 skeins, and I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet, but normally when I sign on to Sweet Fibre, like whenever she does an update, it sells out like almost immediately, and so anytime I've checked, like it's always all gone, and so this was the first time I signed in, and I saw, there's like actually product on the website, and so I was like, well, I have to buy it now because who knows when there will be another chance. So I don't have a project in mind for that yet, but I got it to be on the safe side, basically. And those are just my acquisitions. I'm actually, obviously it's summer, and also, as you probably know, I'm on mat leave. And so I'm trying to decrease the number of things I'm buying, somewhat successfully. I think I've done a pretty good job, but not entirely. They're just, of course, every once in a while something pops up that I just like, gotta have it. But right now, at least, it's been a few weeks since I've ordered any sort of making related stuff, so I feel like I'm doing a good job. Like it's not impossible, it's not easy all the time, but it's getting better, right? Okay, so then the project that I was talking to you about earlier, that I mentioned earlier, is the Donovan Skirt by Helen's Closet. And this was a new pattern So the project that I mentioned earlier is the Donovan Skirt by Helen's Closet, which she was just released a few weeks ago, and she released that and the Ashton top. I bought them both when they were on sale as new releases, so I think they were like 20% off. And now I think they're maybe $14 each. There may be a bundle deal, I'm not sure. But in any event, they're both just like beginner sews, very easy, very basic staples. And I was really excited to try those patterns because I thought it's summer, they're quick, like you can literally do it probably in an afternoon, even with a little baby. It's not something that requires a lot of fussing and all of that. But best laid plans. So I sewed the skirt, and I'll show it to you here. And well, you'll find out more about this in a minute. So I made it out of this striped. It's sort of a pink and white striped cotton. This reminded me of seersucker, and I sewed the whole thing together, and really liked the look of it. I put the elastic in and everything, and forgive these little marks. I was gonna do. There's an optional waist tie, I should say. Which I ended up not doing because I realized it just was not something I wanted to do. And so I just have to erase those. But sewed the whole skirt, had everything together, put the elastic in, tried it on, and realized that this is just too structured. Like this fabric has too much structure for what I wanted, for the look that I wanted. And so it looked like my bottom half was just exploding basically in this fabric. And then I measured it. And so I'd cut the size 14 because at the time that I bought the pattern, and I've mentioned this a few times, but I had a baby in April. I've been doing Weight Watchers. I've been working out. So I'm actively trying to lose weight, but apparently between like the time that I cut out the pattern and measured myself and decided what size I was going to do, and then the time that between the time that I measured myself, determined the size, printed everything out, finally got the pattern cut out, and when I sewed it all up, I lost a couple of inches off my hip measurement, which is what they suggest you use to determine which size. And so I sewed the size 14 based on a 42-inch hip, I think. And then now I'm at like a 40-inch hip. And so the 14 just looks gigantic. And this fabric, because this cotton is not super drapey, it just was too much. It was just way too much extra fabric, way too much volume. And so what I've now done, which you can see, is I've taken apart the side seams and the waistband and the hem at the side seams. And my plan, my plan is to basically take about 6 inches in total off, because it's still going to be plenty. Like, I measured the actual finished skirt width and it was 26 inches, or 52 inches around, I should say. It was 26 across the front, so I just doubled it. And that gave me would have been like 10 inches of ease, which if it was a drapier fabric would have been fine, would probably have looked really nice. But for this fabric, it was just way too much. And so I want to take off about 6 inches of ease. So I put, which would still leave me with like 4 to 6 inches of ease, something like that. So, like I said, I took apart the side seams. I'm going to sort of mark 3 inches on each side, or 1.5 inches off each side seam, take that into wherever it's going to go. I think that unfortunately that's going to mean that I might lose the pockets, which is unfortunate, but just given the nature of like how this fabric was falling and how it draped and didn't drape, I should say, and everything. I don't know that I would really be using the pockets on this skirt anyway, because it would just be more bulk at my hips, which I don't want. And so I think, if I lose the pockets, it's unfortunate because I think they're a cute detail, but not the end of the world. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to mark off 1.5 inches on each panel or each side seam, and then sew it back up, see where that puts me, get back into, I expect eventually I'm going to have to take off the whole waistband, which, I suppose I could just go ahead and do, but I had limited time. So I wanted to get the main parts done so I could get it all marked up and redo it. But yeah, I mean, that's sort of everything that's been going on. I have had lots of plans, but just with the baby and everything, haven't, every day is an adventure and something new and different. And so when I'm trying to obviously just sort of keep myself floating here, sewing tends to take a back seat to other things. But I mean, the great thing about this pattern was it literally took an afternoon. I did it in a couple of spurts. I had about an hour and a half. Like, I'd cut everything out last week, and then like printed the pattern, did the like taped everything together, and then cut out the pieces last week. And then on the week, like yesterday, both of my kids laid down at the same time for their naps. So I had sort of a window of a little more than an hour to start piecing everything together. And once, like, Helen's instructions are so clear, once I started on that process, like, it all went really smoothly. It was really quick to put together. So that was encouraging, and that was really great. Of course, it was just unfortunate that ultimately didn't fit. So I'm going to have to go back and spend a little more time to make or the size. It shouldn't say that that it didn't fit. It's just a matter of the size that I chose, and my ongoing sort of weight loss journey coinciding sort of made it that the size I chose initially didn't fit anymore once I sewed it up. So I'm going to go back and make some of these small adjustments, see where that puts me. I could, I guess, like, just print everything. I don't want to print everything else again, because that seems really wasteful, and I think that this is a relatively easy fix. But I guess if anybody out there has tried to do a fix like this before, if they have any recommendations, I mean, I appreciate it. I don't know that I'm going to get to it this week. We're going on vacation in 2 weeks, and so mostly I just wanted to have something that I made to bring on the vacation. I thought that would be really nice, but and I think that's enough time for me to fix the skirt and get everything done there. If I have time, I'd like to make an Ashton top as well. My plan, I should say, had been to make a matching top and bottom so that it was that it would look nice that way. But I don't know if I have enough fabric left over after, because I cut everything out to do the waist tie, but ended up not doing it. So I think that sort of ate into some of the extra fabric that I thought I was going to have. So that might not happen, but I might be able to eke like an Ogden cami out, and that could be really cute depending on how the skirt turns out once I fix it. But I'm going to fix the skirt first to determine whether or not I really want to do anything else. And then, I think even a cami, just given the structure of the fabric, I just have to be careful about what I choose to do with it, because I don't want, some big boxy top is just going to look, it's going to swallow me up. Like, it's not going to look right in this fabric. So we'll see how it goes. Otherwise, I hope everybody else is having a great July and enjoying the weather wherever they happen to be. And happy sewing and happy making to all of you. Bye.